Don't care how long it take to get an op back. All my niggas outside, steak, bitch, we out back.
Hello, everybody. I am the official urban therapist. Welcome to this lunchtime conversation episode. Today, I'm going to be doing a reaction slash review of this recent Kwame Brown and Tough Love. Right. Those of you who are not aware of course, Kwame Brown. Sorry, Kwame Brown. He's a former NBA player. And he been doing a lot of videos and stuff on his platform on YouTube. And Tough Love is Tough Love, but I want to take this opportunity to just go ahead and do this reaction video because I actually had reviewed the video earlier prior before doing this live right now, and I'm gonna go back and I want to do my personal critique on the video. Right, there are a lot of different things that was said in this conversation that I really want to address. I'm not going to be addressing about any type of personal things that was going on between Kwame Brown and Tough Love because I believe that's irrelevant of what I'm talking about. But there are a lot of key things that both of them was talking about in this dialogue that I want to address as well as a one content creator too. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and review this video. All right. Hopefully, Kwame, you don't strike me or nothing like that for using your content. All right. So what I'll do, I'll just let the audio play for right now. Then also one thing as well too. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get through all this in one setting. So if I don't, then I'll come back later on tonight and finish it up then on my other show later on tonight. So other than that, without further ado, y'all, let's go ahead and review this. All right.
As much
Cool,
as we
cool.
can. It can get
All right.
spicy, it can get heated, but I don't think I've ever called you out your name. Weak Weasel is something I say to people who don't come address people directly.
Okay.
It can be derogatory, it can be whatever. It's just a name that I made up. So
Just so you know, man, I'm actually opening up this lemonade. It's not no alcohol or nothing. So you know what I'm saying?
okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to address, right?
Okay.
Now you claim to be positive, right? You said that you're this positive guy, and all you do is just tell people how to package their message and all this thing. So it's almost like you're like this brand ambassador on YouTube. And you know that you can help everybody's brand, and that's just confusing to me because it seems like you have an underlying hate. You right after Gilbert Arenas said, "Put that beer down," you know what you did? You put a photo up of a Budweiser. You put my picture up, and then you did a live stream with that photo up. Now, not one time did you speak about drinking, beers, or anything until Gilbert said that. It's almost like you're regurgitating and repeating the things that Tammy and Gilbert say.
Okay. You asking me a question or what?
That's the question. Why would you put that up? Why are you regurgitating things of my detractors if you're just trying to be positive and try to detract from me with one thing? You said you disagreed with me on one thing, and now there's been video after video.
Okay.
And you're doing all of your videos with me in the title, hashtag Kwame Brown.
Mm-hmm.
All of that gets you in the algorithm. So my question is, why didn't you talk about drinking prior to Gilbert Arenas?
Okay, so I'm thinking that you meaning drinking in reference to you. So you had requested that I go back and look at the video. The interview was about 4 hours long. I said I looked at about an hour and some change with you actually coming up on the panel and speaking for yourself. And I kind of gave my insight in regards. I thought that since you were already kind of feeling a certain type of way with Gilbert Arenas, that the alcohol really led to some extra emotion. So that was a part of my thumbnail or whatever case may be. So that's the reason why I put it in. It wasn't to put it in because Gilbert Arenas pointed out whatever. I saw for myself that I felt like the drinking kind of took away from the actual conversation. So that's
all right. First of all, the statement that I'm gonna make with this is gonna be a generalized statement. The reason why is because I have not seen the video that they're referencing about right now for us. Kwame Brown drinking beer or alcohol, anything like that. I haven't seen that yet. So the statement I'm gonna make is gonna be just a straight generalized statement. I believe in this situation, Kwame Brown did ask a valid question to Toughlove, which is, in other words, the question that he asked in the simpler terms is that why did you decide to troll me on this particular situation? That's what he's asking him. Why did you not only troll him, you use a thumbnail to gain clout on that? So what was your purpose of doing that, especially if you want to promote your platform to be something positive? That's the question that he's asking Toughlove. Now, with Toughlove response, to be honest, and just looking at it as a general statement again, his response was more of a kind of dancing around to try to answer the question. You know what I'm saying, or to even per se justify the reason why he did what he did. Because let's be realistic about this, and let's be honest about this. All right, and this is me as being a content creator as well. I have said this on my own platform a lot of times. Each and every last one of us on YouTube, our number one job on YouTube is to create content, which within content, it creates clout. That's what we do. That's the job description. That's what we're here for. That's what many people are getting paid for. That's what many people are getting super chats and all these other things. This is what they're here for. This is what we do. So by not accepting that role on your own, you know what I'm saying, that's what make what Kwame Brown say valid in the situation, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's clout. We just clouting each other. Like even right now, I'm doing a review on this particular video of Kwame Brown and Toughlove. I put in my thumbnail the interview with Kwame Brown and Toughlove. The reason why I put it in there is because of clout. Because I know that if I put this thumbnail in here, people's going to see it and they're going to gravitate to want to hear what I have to say about my video or my content. We all do it. Every content creator does it. Everyone does it. Just recently, Tasha K, she was doing it over and over and over again repeatedly with Cardi B. Unfortunately, led into a defamation lawsuit. But at the end of the day, this is part of Tasha K's job, is to be a clout chaser. That's what she does. That's what all of us do. We're clout chasers. We know that we know that part of us being content creators is that we have to figure out ways to captivate the audience. And the best way for us to captivate the audience is to use some form of psychology behind it. You know what I'm saying? Hence, this is the reason why content creators clout. This is the reason why they use certain type of thumbnails, because when you understand the psychology behind it, we know that it's going to be human behavior to investigate certain things that is very interesting to them. And this is why we do it. So I believe that the question that Kwame Brown asked, it was a very valid question. With a very simple answer, which, in my perspective, I believe that Toughlove should have simply said, "Hey, I did it because I wanted the clout. Period. I wanted people to view my content. Period. So that's why I did it." And just be honest about it. It is there's another thing too that's circulated too, that clout or clout chasing is wrong or is a bad thing. In a broad sense, it is not a bad thing, but it just depends on the content creator intent behind it. If you're using the clout chasing as an attempt to try to do malicious thing, to try to, just like what Tasha K was doing with Cardi B, create, defamation and, different things like that, then yeah, it is wrong to do that. I personally don't believe in that neither. But if it's something where you're trying to get people to view your content from a different point of view or a different perspective, and you just honestly sharing your opinion about that, there is nothing wrong with that. All right. So
that's the only reason for that.
So do you have any background in someone's tolerance and all that type of stuff? Because not only did you say that, your very next video, the one that I just watched that was 2 hours long, you said that's some drunk logic. So it's like you keep referencing drinking. Tammy said that I was riding around Atlanta with no seatbelt on, speeding, drunk, and my seatbelt was on. In a Mercedes, if you don't wear a seatbelt, it gives.
I didn't. Oh, okay. Let me let you finish. Finish. Go ahead, finish.
It's like, but my thing is, what you're doing is, you do what most snake oil salesmen do. It's not about what you do; it's about how you do it. So you come across as this polite guy, and I didn't really say anything wrong, but you drop these little underlying sneak disses, and you say things that to me is very condescending. You asked a question to me that was very ignorant. You said, because you're not in the field of basketball, you're not in the business of basketball. So your question on itself, on its face, was ignorant as hell. You asked, were you ever a leader? Were you a leader amongst men around Michael Jordan?
Before he gets to his rant talking about the leadership roles and different things like that, let me address what Kwame Brown is talking about in this situation. Now, in this particular situation, and I have to disagree with Kwame Brown on this. Well, once again, like I stated before, each and every last one of us as content creators, our number one job is to clout. All of us do it. And Kwame Brown, you're not exempt from this because you clout chase as well too. You do it as well too. You do slick disses and different things like that as well too. Even though I'm not subscribed to your channel, I have seen videos put out, not videos of other content creators doing like little clips of you doing certain things, but I actually seen some of your full live videos without me being subscribed to your channel. And you do the same as that thing. You slick dish, you do all these different things. But at the end of the day, the reason why you do it is because you're clout chasing. And on top of that, as another part of being a content creator is that we are in charge of the entertainment part of it as well. So in other words, you do things to captivate your audience. You do things to keep them engaged. That's the whole point why we have engagements. That's the whole point why we have impressions, all these different other things that's related to monetization. Long as you do certain things to keep your audience engaged, they're going to stay engaged. They're going to want to give you your super chats, everything, because you're entertaining them at that point. You do it. Toughlove does it. I do it on my platform. Every content creator does that. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't exempt you. That doesn't exempt you at all, period. All right, from that. Okay.
So you think anybody at the age of 19 years old that has never scored a basket in the NBA yet, hasn't won 6 NBA championships, don't have the admiration of children, women, men, everybody across the world. They shoot people over Jordans in line. And your question to your audience was I a leader around Michael Jordan? Do you think anybody would have been able to lead Michael Jordan at 19? Not scoring one bucket?
You done?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Okay. So my question, to answer your question, first of all, yes, I do believe that a person 18 and 19.
I gotta say, just this other part too. There was a couple of things that Toughlove did too, that he was doing too, that I want to address too. When Kwame Brown was talking, he had mentioned to my, well, okay, I'm gonna let you finish. Then after, when Kwame Brown finished his statement, he said, "Okay, are you done?" Now, typically, through my observational experience, typically the reason why most people do stuff like this is because they're like, in a way, low key trying to manipulate the conversation. In other words, they're trying to manipulate the conversation to say that, hey, you're over talking me, you're in control of the situation, but I'm gonna let you have it. Okay, I'm gonna let you have this thing, but I'm going to address that this is what you're doing. This is the behavior that you're currently doing. You know what I'm saying? Without being, without just being, respectable about it. Like, okay, good, okay, cool. Then once when he finished his sentence, then you want to go ahead and say what you have to say. But that's my observation behind that. That's my opinion. All right, not the professional. That's my opinion. All right.
Can lead. I've seen it in Iraq. I've seen it in Afghanistan. I see it in the street.
We're talking about basketball.
I got you. My thought process is this: it's based on your maturity level. So I'm asking.
It's absolutely not. It's based
leadership,
on
leadership is based on your maturity level and what you know.
No, sir. Rookies can't even talk. You're to be seen and not heard.
But that doesn't mean you can't be a leader.
What you don't even get the opportunity to be a leader. You've done nothing. I haven't scored one NBA bucket. This man has 6 rings. He has enough rings to put on 2 hands. And you're saying that a 19-year-old can lead Michael Jordan, and it's about his maturity.
It's not about leading Michael Jordan. It's about, were you a leader around Michael Jordan? Were you a leader around these men in the NBA on different teams?
You think you would have been able to be a leader around Michael Jordan when he would have just told you to shut the fuck up, you're a rookie?
I mean, that's what he told you. I mean, if that's what he told you. See, here's the thing. You're asking me something, and I'm giving my response. But then you kind of change. Do you think that? If I didn't think that, I wouldn't say that.
What I'm saying is your response is a response of ignorance. You're not in that field. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to tell a doctor how to be a doctor. I'm not going to tell a military man how to be in the military. I'm not going to tell a boxer how to be a boxer. Maturity level has nothing to do with when you come into the NBA with 0 points, 0 stats, 0 anything. Everything is based on potential. And you're saying that someone's maturity level can lead.
You couldn't be a leader because of your resume.
You can't be a leader in that field because you have no experience, sir.
Because of your resume.
Down to experience.
Because of your resume. Your experience is your resume.
Okay, but that's what
you've accomplished.
What I'm saying is in the NBA, as a rookie, no rookie is coming to a situation as a leader, sir.
Okay.
You can be groomed to be a leader by a veteran. You in the military did not come in as no leader. You were groomed and trained. Okay, that's your opinion, sir. You were groomed and trained by somebody with more experience than you had. And they taught you the ropes and they explained to you how to do your job. Did they not?
Better. Correct. That's correct.
Okay, so you're not.
All right, let me clarify what's going on in this situation. Hey, Joy, how you doing? Joy Wallace, how you doing? Appreciate you tuning in. But let me clarify this whole situation. There's some things also in here that I don't agree with too. But first of all, this is the whole discussion. The whole discussion is that they trying to compare this whole scenario about leadership, but instead of clarifying and breaking it down about what type of leadership you're talking about, they just made a generalized statement about leadership. So on one hand, Kwame Brown is talking about leadership based on your qualifications. All right, based on your certain qualifications, based on certain accolades, different things like that. That's what Kwame Brown is talking about. So, in his perspective, what he's saying is true and is valid. You know what I'm saying? In order for you to get to that certain point, you have to go through certain level of training and different things like that in order for you to get to that level of leadership. You know what I'm saying? On the other hand, Toughlove, he's not talking about leadership based on that. He's talking about leadership based on the overall characteristic of a person. That's what he's talking about. So in reality, anybody could be a leader regardless of their age. It could be a young man, a young woman, whoever. Everyone could be a leader or considered as part of a leadership role. Like, for example, with my children, for example, okay? My oldest son, he's the oldest out of all his siblings. So since he's the oldest out of his siblings, that means he have a certain level of a leadership role over his siblings. But however, that doesn't mean that he qualified to be a father because he never took on the role of being a father. But however, he acquired a role or a characteristic of being a leader under his peers. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what Tough Love is talking about. And also at the same time, that's what Kwame Brown is talking about as well too. If you're looking at it from a business perspective, or you being at a job, yes, you have to go through certain level of training and for you to build yourself up into a leadership role or a leadership character. And that's when anything, including sports. A rookie is considered a rookie for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Even in anything, like all of us, we been around high school. We been in school before. We went through high school. We went through college, stuff like that. Each level they call you a freshman, meaning that you would say rookie. You're in the beginning stages. You're a freshman. They become a sophomore, a junior, the senior level. Okay, or they call it a journeyman, which is a senior level as well. Which Kwame Brown, he could relate to this because this is dealing with trading and coding. All right. Even with trading and coding, for example, do you have what is known as an apprenticeship? Then from apprenticeship, you build all the way up until where you be known as a journeyman. But all of that is based on the perspective of what Kwame Brown is talking about. For us, you're building it up based on your set job that you're going for. But however, Tough Love is talking about leadership differently. He's talking about the characteristics of a person being a leader. So yeah, in a sense, both of them is correct of what they're saying, but the whole disagreement is that they trying to package it all together to one, making this whole package statement. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the disagreement is coming from. Now, there's something that Kwame Brown said that I don't agree with at all, period. All right. And he's going to reference this again when I play the video again. He's going to reference about qualifications, all right, based on people talking on this YouTube platform, all right. He's going to reference saying that what makes you want to qualify to say these certain things where you never been, when you never did these certain things. So since you never did these certain things, that automatically disqualify you from talking about it. I totally disagree with that. The reason why is because on YouTube, everyone on here, whether you're a content creator, whether you're a subscriber, whatever your role is, everyone on here give their perspective or opinion about things. Everyone does it. It don't have to be a professional opinion or professional statement. It's just an opinion. So for Kwame Brown to say that now, since you're not qualified to do this and that or whatever, then you're not qualified to speak it. It's just the same equivalent when I tell people that I'm going to school for therapy and being a sociologist stuff. Just because I don't have a paper degree, that does not mean I'm disqualified for saying what I want to say, because at the end of the day, I can say what I want to say because it's just my opinion. I'm not giving no professional statement about certain things. All I'm doing is give you my opinion based on my experience or based on my knowledge of the topic that we're talking about. That's all I'm doing. And that's how what Tough Love is doing. That's all he's doing. He's just giving his statement or his opinion about what he's talking about. Same thing with what Kwame Brown doing. He's doing the same exact thing. So yeah, whenever I hear people say things like that, I immediately disagree with that. I don't agree with it at all, because I believe that when people say things like that, I believe that they try to use that as a form of a deflection tactic to try to say that what you're saying is irrelevant. What you say is what you're saying, you don't qualify for that. That's how the way I perceive that to be. All right. So let's go ahead.
Not a leader.
So Michael, hold on. You can be a leader and be groomed for betterment. There are people who come in from all the time in the military that already have leadership potential, whether it was on a football field, whether on a basketball field, they already have leaders. It's people who've already started their families. They're already leaders. Now you can teach them how to be better in the military in reference to military leadership. So yes, you can be a leader before you get to the NBA.
So I was a leader before I got to the NBA. That's how I got there, sir. But
okay.
Your question was I a leader around Michael Jordan, Kobe
in the
Bryant,
NBA?
In the NBA, but I was around Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, sir.
And other members. It wasn't just Michael Jordan.
Other members. You're talking about two, arguably, of the greatest players who ever played the game. So it would be ignorant for anyone to say that at 18 or 19 years old, that they even thought, if that was your thought process, that you were going to lead these type of men, then somebody would tell you you're absolutely nuts. Not only would the coach tell you that, the GM would tell you that, the management, everybody would tell you, you're here to fit around this guy. And if you can't do that, then you can no longer do your job. And here's your walking papers. Because we got this guy to do this job. We need you to do this. This is a job at the end of the day. Now, we have a question for you. This young man, I don't know if he has military service. So he says, so you're telling me that an 18-year-old, which is usually a PVT -PFC, led you in combat? Now, I don't know what those words mean.
I didn't say a leader led me. I didn't say a private led me in combat. I'm saying those privates are given leadership positions in reference to being a gunner, a TC, a driver. So the fact of the matter is these young people are put in leadership positions and they are taught how to fulfill those positions. I mean, it's real simple.
Okay, and that's what I'm saying. I was up under the leadership of Michael Jordan because of his years of service.
But it wouldn't have stopped you from being a leader, Kwame.
It didn't stop
you can be up under a leader, but a leader knows how to follow his way.
I think the question on its face, the way you tried to portray it to your audience, was as if I came to YouTube and I'm finally trying to display leadership. I was such a leader that I forego college to get to the NBA. You can't do that without leadership qualities, sir. When you get to the NBA, it's about knowing your role and starring in your role.
So wouldn't that be your argument, though?
A part of being a good leader and a good teammate is playing your position, starring in your role, and maturing when it's time to mature. So you telling me to come in at 18, 19 years old and tell Michael Jordan what to do, sir, I think this fairy tale land that you create in your head, it will never pass over into real life.
Okay, cool. So here's my thought process. Do me a favor, man, since this is your...
all right. Before Toughlove address this other thing, I also want to point out once again, notice what Kwame Brown said at the end of his statement or the end of his rebuttal. Kwame Brown pretty much, quote unquote, slick diss Toughlove. Now, keep in mind earlier, saying he wasn't talking about all that stuff. He was against clout chasing and everything like that. But as I stated earlier, that part of being a content creator is for what? Is for us to clout chase. Is for us to, if you feel that you want to slick this or whatever, they do that. And the reason why they do that is because they know that's part of the entertainment part of it. Now, me personally, do Urban do quote unquote slick this and different things like that? It depends on the content that I'm presenting. It depends on the content and depends on who I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So yes, even I do that. And I'm a positive person. That's about 99% of my content is positive. But at the same time, I still clout chase. At the same time, there'll be moments where I slick this and everything. It's part of the entertainment process. But the only difference about me is that I accept it for what it is. There was one point in time when I was new into this YouTube game, And I was trying to understand why things the way it was, because I was stuck to my personal lane. I was stuck to my personal space, my personal tunnel vision about it, based on how the way I wanted YouTube to be. I used to be that way, right? So I used to push out and promote that certain narrative about it. But now, since I stopped and started learning the reason why things are the way they are on YouTube, now I have a more of a understanding now of how things work. So therefore, that's why, sometimes you'll see me do a slick this. Sometimes you'll see me cloud chase or whatever stuff, because I understand how YouTube works, and also I accept it for what it is as well too. And I believe that and this is for Toughlove as well too. I believe that there had to be a point where you personally, where you have to come into a realization, you have to come to a realization within yourself that you're on social media and you're on here for one purpose and one purpose only. It's to get your content out, and the only way you could do that is for you to on cloud chase, to do your little slit this thing, just like what Kwame Brown just did. Different things like that for the entertainment part, because if you don't do that, then you're not going to captivate your audience. So that's what it is. It's the whole psychology part of it. You know what I'm saying? Now, do I personally agree with it? Nah, y'all know I don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? Even with the beefing part and stuff, I did several videos just talking about beefing and talking about beefing sectors and everything like that. Well, I'm totally against that. But at the same time, I also let y'all know that I understand the behavior behind it. I understand the reasoning behind it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we're here to cloud chase. This is what we are as content creators. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Your platform. Do me a favor. Let's keep, because if you was on my platform, I definitely would keep the disrespect down to a minimum. And so we're talking about.
I disrespected you on.
No, not you. I'm saying that's for anybody on your platform, since you control your platform or whatever. So that's the first thing. The second part is, my question was, when did Kwame Brown feel that he became one hell of an N-word? When did he become a leader? So if you're saying,
okay, let me address this too. I'm glad that Toughlove brought this up as well too. Now, what he's doing, he's addressing the super chat. All right. A person have post something on the super chat, right? A message that Toughlove didn't like, and he's seen it, and so he's reacting to it. And so this is the reason why he was saying that he wanted to keep it respectable. Now, notice what I said earlier about me personally. When I first came into the YouTube street, I had a certain expectation for YouTube. I had this expectation that everyone had to be respectable. If I'm coming on here being respectable, then it's my expectation that everyone got to think the same way. How do I think? Everyone have to feel the same way how I feel, or interpret or perceive the thing how the way I see it. You know what I'm saying? But notice also what I said too is that my perspective changed when I started learning about the why. When I started figuring out the why, the way things are, the way that they are. So same thing. Once again, even with this stuff with super chat, where people being, they'll post their comments, they either say something positive or they're gonna say something disrespectful, depending on who house you in. I remember I had went math. It was almost about 5 or 6 months ago. I had went onto another content creator platform. Matter of fact, several of them went onto several different content creator platforms. It was their house, their rules. Whatever they allowed to go, I had no other choice but to abide by the rules of their house, because it's their house. One platform I went on, I was under the impression that if I get on here, that we're going to have a respectable dialogue between me and this other content creator. But it turned out that the same content creator invited another person who's a content creator on the platform, and now I'm having a conversation with not only this content creator but this other content creator, and I'm sitting up here trying to defend myself based on something that they disagreed about what I did. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, after when all that was said and done and I experienced that, I went back and thought about it. I say, you know what? I can't even be mad at them nor at myself because I'm the one who chose to go up there on the platform to begin with in the first place. I chose that without having no type of expectation. Then also not understanding that however way they use their platform, it's their house, it's their platform. So after that point, after when I experienced that, that's when I start seeing things differently too. Like, okay, at the end of the day, regardless of how I feel about it, it's your platform. You do whatever you want to do because it's yours. I can't control you. No, I can't control your your moderators. I can't control what people are saying in the chat or anything like that. I can't do that. It'll drive any person insane just to even think that you could control that. Let me put you in another perspective too. Even with my own personal platform, my house, my personal platform, there are certain things that I know that I can quote unquote control. But if I do that, right, if I sit up here and literally control every little thing that's happening on the platform, guess what? What's going to happen? The subscribers and the people who are viewing, they're gonna start feeling like that they're not free to express themselves. They're gonna start feeling like that their First Amendment right has been violated. That's how the way they're gonna start feeling. And so therefore, not only they're gonna start getting into their feelings about that, they're gonna find every little excuse possible to try to strike your channel for every crazy reason. That's because they're in their feelings. Now, by me saying that, I'm not justifying the behavior or anything like that. I'm just speaking the reality of it. So same thing with back to this super chat that Toughlove was talking about. At the end of the day, you have made the choice to come up on this panel. You didn't even have to come up there, but you made the conscious choice to come up there to his house. So however way he runs his house, you have to respect it. So if he wanted to put super chats up there, he could put super chats up there where everyone is disagreeing with you. And he could address them because it's his house. His house rules. He could do whatever he want to do. It's his house. And there ain't nothing you could do about it other than the only other thing that you could do about that is for you to disengage, meaning to get off the panel or the discussion and no longer engage into it. That's the only option you have. But if you want to choose to stay up there, then you're accepting the house rules. You're accepting what comes with the house rules. In other words, you're making a verbal contract with that content creator saying that, hey, I'm coming up here and however way your house is ran, that's how the way I'm doing it. So for you to come up there and then to tell Kwame Brown, hey, you know what I'm saying, you gotta keep respect, you got to get control of your chat, your super chats. Don't post super chats up there. That part right there, I disagree with that. Because that's his house, his rules, period. There ain't nothing you can do about that other than disengage yourself, period.
From your transition to high school to your selection for the NBA, that you were a leader, to me, that's the answer to the question. I was a leader before I got into the military, before I got into the NBA. So that answers the question.
Play your clip? That's not what you said. You said, am I a leader? You said, am I a leader amongst men? I'm coming to YouTube acting like I'm like big boy and people on YouTube. But how I presented the situation was I'm just a busty bust. I came out of a cheese line. I'm not above nobody. I'm not standing on nobody's shoulders. So I answered the smallest YouTuber or the biggest YouTuber. Some YouTubers thought that was crazy. But this is how I do it. If you a man and you put your pants on like me, I'm going to treat you as such. Most YouTubers say, I'm not going to talk to you unless you're big enough. My thing is, if you make sense and you want to have a conversation, let's have it. But your conversation doesn't seem to make any sense. You seem to think because you package your message in a way that you don't seem to be disrespecting people, but you are, and you actually are. You keep getting triggered by the word hell of a nigga and then keep saying, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Sir, that's putting you above me. I don't answer to you. Me saying I'm a hell of a nigga, I explain why. I said, I feel like I'm a hell of a nigga because I bought my mother a house. I feel like I'm a hell of a nigga because I came out of the cheese line and I'm not a liability to anyone. I made a way from nowhere. That's hell of a nigga status to me, sir. It don't have to be that to you.
Now, this part right here, where I do have to agree with Kwame on this part too. All right, so um, the shows that I watch with Toughlove, overall his channel do support a lot of positive message where he what's the best word? Oh, he challenged accountability a lot. Which on my platform, I do the same exact thing where I challenge accountability a lot as well too, through the message that I spread. Now, through the message that the only difference that the message that I spread when I'm giving accountability for certain situations, I'm not telling people that you should be like me or you should perceive things how the way I perceive them. Because if that be the case, then all I'm doing is manipulating and controlling them. I'm trying to make a person be how the way I want it to be in my reality, which I know that is not true, and I know that's impossible to happen. Even furthermore, that could consider that's considered borderline narcissism as well too, where you literally try to make a person be how the way you want them to be instead of allowing them to be who they are. But that is what it is, period. But however, how the way I do it, or as what Kwame say, package it. I don't package myself as big, you know what I'm saying? That's the stand-up good guy or all my messages, positive stuff like that, and I want you to be like me. How the way I quote unquote package my platform is I point certain behavior traits based on my studies or based on my findings or based on my research. I point them out, I address them, and I give you the choice to either choose whether you will want to adapt to a better way or a different perspective or stay in the reality that you're in. If you choose to change to do something different, that's fine. If you choose to stay in the reality that you're in, that's fine. It's nothing wrong with that because at the end of the day, we are human. We all are going through this journey through life together. But also, the only difference between me is that I'm all about putting the message out there. So at the end of the day, when that person went through their whole entire life and it comes down to the end of their life, they cannot say that they never met a person who at least said something different from how the way they was believing. That's where I feel that where I come into play about that. That I put it out there so you can have a choice instead of trying to force them to be a certain way or a certain narrative. So yeah, you can't force Kwame Brown to be this positive dude that he wanted to do this and that, whatever. You can't force him to do that. You can't control him to do that. Nor can Kwame Brown control Toughlove to be, instead of being a positive person, you need to be this and that or whatever, however way he see Toughlove as. He can't do that. Nor the same thing with me. I can't do that with them as well. All I can do is point certain things out from my personal point of view, point it out, and it's your choice whether you agree with it or not. If you agree, it's fine. If you don't agree, it's fine. It's cool. Because at the end of the day, I'm not personally, I'm not thinking about it. I don't have no ill feelings about no one or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, I have my own personal life journey that I'm living, and I know that it is very stressful to put all the weight of the world's shoulder upon me. Especially when I know that I can't change nobody. But that is my perspective.
You're trying to make it violent. You're trying to piggyback off my words. You're trying to say this and that. If you can't accept how I'm saying it on his face, then that's you. But you don't have to use my verbiage and then try to put yourself in position. You also said, if I'm the number 1 draft pick, I'm going to the AllStar game. You're not the number 1 draft pick. That's me. I know the attention that comes with that. I know the women that comes with that. I know the dudes that's trying to rob you that comes with that. You don't, sir. Do you?
And this is going back to what I was saying earlier too about Kwame Brown trying to basically say that since you don't have these certain type of accolades or whatever, then your opinion doesn't matter. You're one disqualified. And this is why I was saying earlier that I don't agree with that. Because at the end of the day, regardless if Toughlove was a basketball player or not, at the end of the day, he could still relate to your profession based on his experiences, his life experiences. So that doesn't disqualify him for giving his opinion about certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like his opinion about the one AllStar game about Kwame Brown attending. His opinion was he felt that Kwame Brown should have been engaged in that he should attend that. You know what I'm saying? That's his opinion. That's his perspective. The one thing Kwame Brown could do is either agree or disagree with it, but be respectable about it. Respectfully agree or respectfully disagree. But you cannot disqualify him just because you feel like, well, you never played basketball. That's the same thing with Toughlove saying, well, you can't speak nothing about military. Like right now, I'm looking at the screen right now. Kwame Brown have a United States flag on there. If that be the case, then Toughlove could use the double standard, say, well, you're not qualified to have that white flag there because you never served in the military. So how dare you have a white flag there? You don't even know what that flag represents to me. If we're going to use that double standard narrative. So that's why I say that I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? A person do not be disqualified just because you have a certain profession and that person never did that before. That doesn't disqualify from that. They could share their opinion or based on their personal experiences behind that.
No, I don't.
So why would you frame it? Why are you watching everything I do and then frame it in a way of what you would do?
Okay. So to answer your question, just in short, I'm not watching everything that you do, Kwame. I think you under this impression that somebody is. I'm not even subscribed to your channel. Most of the things that I get from what's going on is third party or third hand, and I address things accordingly in a timely fashion. So it is what it is. But my thought process.
Yeah, and also then once again, this other slick this part as well too. Basically say, hey, I'm not sub to your channel anyway, different things like that. Remember when I was telling y'all about the when I went to this content creator platform, right? And I was up there on the panel. This is the same exact thing that the content creator said to me. Where they were saying that, well, I never watch your channel or nothing like that. But however, I seen certain videos circulated about you and stuff. So I want to talk about it, which that's fine. I have no problem with that. But if we having a conversation about a particular topic, right, that you just saw, then it's better for you to at least get an understanding of where that person is coming from before you decide to engage them. That's how the way I feel about that. You know what I'm saying? That you should at least know where they're coming from. Not just have a one-track mindset that, oh, this person does this and I'm just going to stick to that. But once again, that's my personal perspective about that. That's just how I personally perceive things. You know what I'm saying? Even with this video right now, I did seen a couple of other Kwame Brown videos probably before this. I didn't see the beer, whatever they're talking about, the beer, him drinking beer video. I haven't seen that video. I seen other videos that Kwame Brown did prior before this. I seen other videos that Toughlove did this, including his reaction to the one that this video that I'm talking about right now. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I watched them is just to gain a perspective about where they're coming from. So when I do my reaction on it, you know what I'm saying, and give my input about it, I will have my perspective about it, in other words, without veering their content. So in other words, I'm not just saying the old thing that's coming on top of my head for clout, if that makes any sense.
Process in regards to the AllStar Game or whatever case to be, if they are honoring the top 75 players or whatever case to be, and you're the number one draft pick from high school that's an African American, I would think that you would be in attendance of that.
Okay.
So that's just my thoughts. That's my opinion. So again, it wasn't, I think for some reason, because you did the air quotes when you say package, right? So for some reason, what's being said to you, you have to ordain it to be malicious, or you have to ordain it to be disrespect versus just taking it for face value. I would think as a number one draft pick, you would say, hey, shit, well, not that you're not proud of it. Cool. That's an achievement. You should be proud of it. But I would think that, hey, yeah, you should. Yeah, hell yeah. I would be in attendance if it was me. Damn right I would be.
But that's what I'm saying. That's you.
Again, just my perspective. Just my perspective.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you don't really have a message that's against mine. You're nitpicking at this point. You're saying if I was this guy, I would do this. That's unfair to me.
What I also
have to play if games with me. Dissect my message, like you say, and go against it or whatever you want to do. But saying what you would do if you were something, that's comparing yourself to me. Why are you doing that?
Okay.
Now I'm make this on one last point too that I'm gonna have to end it here. I'm gonna come back on here later on to this evening, and I'm gonna continue this on reaction video too, because they're like say they're saying a whole lot of things that I want to bring out and just share my perspective about it. You know what I'm saying, from just a third party perspective about it. All right. So yeah, once again, like I stated earlier, at the end of the day, Kwame Brown, Toughlove, they're two totally different people from two totally different walks of life. You know what I'm saying? Are they opinions valid? Absolutely, it's valid. But at the end of the day, you can either agree with it or you could disagree with it, respectfully. I believe so far in this interaction that they're having, even though they're having a cordial conversation overall, based on what I'm observing, at the end of the day, it was still for clout, because they're clout chasing, literally clout chasing each other. It is what it is. They're clout chasing each other. They both doing, some slick dissing with each other, different things like that as well too. But at the end of the day, the reason why they're doing that is because as both of them being content creators, they understand the psychology behind it. At the end of the day, people want to be entertained. So that's what it boils down to. So like I say, I'm gonna come back on here later on today, and I'm gonna continue doing this this reaction / review video, right? So I appreciate y'all tuning in, and like always, y'all continue to fight fate with faith, and I will see y'all later.